Hi, this is Trevor Conkergood. Welcome to this week's R&K Software Club's video for the week. And our topic for this week is going to be about the wordplay tool. And so if you're ready to get started, let's go ahead and pop over onto my workspace. And so this shape, this baby onesie shape, has been filled in with words. And that's the idea with the wordplay tool, is that it's right up here on the top menu. It says wordplay when you hover over it. It's kind of a diamond shape. And when you click on that, a window will open up. And so there's all the settings that you can control in here, everything from the shape that you're filling in to the words that are going to fill it with, size, etc. And so the first thing you'll see is the drop down menu for the shape, and there's lots of different shapes for you to choose from. Later in this video, I'll even show you how you can add your own custom shapes to this list. So really it's kind of limitless what you can do with this. And so when you choose the shape, then the question is, what do you want to do with that shape? Just leave it as a piece of artwork, or do you want to have it turned into a run stitch or like a steel stitch outline? Um, right now it says that this is going to be 0.4 inches tall. The bigger you make it, I guess the more room there would be for words, depending on the size of the words that you make, right? So if I come in here and say, well, let's make this 6 inches tall, then I know that, from the top of the sort of girl to the bottom will be 6 inches. You can have it viewed in sort of 3D or in not, and you can do all your settings in metric or imperial. There's a history button here. So in a minute here, I'll click the generate button. And so now the software is going to start to fill the shape in with words. It's going to fill the shape in with the word and the word play. And it'll be in the font anniversary. And so now you can see the results. And you have the ability to come in here and change the size or the number of colors, or the maximum number of paths, which means, I guess, the maximum number of words that would get generated. You can also do the scale, so minimum and maximum. So if we said that the size of the letters would be 0.79 of an inch, the software can go down as small as 10% as that, and the maximum would be 100%, which is, that 0.79 size. So if you come in and said 0.5, then that's gonna, and hit generate, then it's gonna recreate the layout, putting the words in with a maximum of 0.5 inch in size and as small as 10% of that, but the maximum being exactly that. And if you came in and made the maximum, 200%, then they could go as big as 1 inch and as small as 1/10 of 1 inch. And so this is kind of how you interact with the size. Obviously, the maximum number of colors. So it's got a limit right now of 15 colors. If you want, you could, change that to be 4 colors or something. And then when you click generate, it'll update again. And so really every time you click generate, the program will kind of like shake up the words and put them down in a new place. And even if I change nothing but just click generate, we'll get different results. And then that's why there's the history buttons here. So if you push generate and you're like, oh, I liked it better the previous time, you can actually click undo and it will remember incrementally the changes that we made. And so you can go back, several times. And then now that I've gone back, I go, oh, maybe I'd rather, what it did do. And so I can now redo, that option layout. And so this is the idea about undo and redo. And finally in here, there's the option for the angle. And right now it's set to any angle, but the options are horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. So if you only wanted to see the words on the diagonal angle, you could specifically choose that one. Or if you only wanted to see words vertical and horizontal, but not diagonal, you could choose those too. And again, you just click generate to create the results. And so, the one thing I'll say about the font is that it's going to be all the same font. You can pick any font that you want. but it's going to be all one font. So, for example, if I change it to be like a block font or something like that and click generate, it'll all update from the script font to a block font. Um, Now, it's possible to have different fonts in your wordplay shape, but you'll need to then change the fonts later. And so you can see now how, I've got it with vertical and horizontal only at 6 inches tall with 0.79 of an inch for my, largest letters of words, but 200% bigger and 10% smaller. And so all of these settings are things that you can easily adjust. If you want to add more words, you simply come in here and you add another word and you can just type it in and say girls are strong and they're smart, and you could come up with lots and lots of great things to add to a list about things that girls are. And so when this updates, it'll have the word and the word play, and it'll have strong and it'll have smart. And so really word and play are kind of unnecessary, so why don't I just delete those? And essentially you can add as many words here as you want. You just hit enter to start a new word. So it's every time it's you want to add a new word, you hit enter and add that to your list. And so yeah, um, so I add another word and I click generate. And so at some point in time, you will arrive at what you feel is just the perfect layout, and you're so excited to embroider it. And at that point in time, you will say, okay. And when I say okay, essentially that brings it onto my workspace. And notice that I now have two different kind of like wordplay shapes that I could interact with. And now this is what I was saying is now that this is created, it's possible for me to select any of these words and come and interact with their, letter style and try a different letter style and just choose it and click apply, and you can do all of the kind of editing that you normally can with letters. They simply become text segments that were created for us. Notice because we had that setting set, at 10%, that the smallest of letters have actually been converted into like run stitch lettering. And that is just because they were too small to sew at a satin stitch size. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's RNK Software Club's video for the week. My name's Trevor Conquergood, and until next week, have a great day. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.